Everybody, welcome back to another Amazon suspension trends video. Trying to do a lot more of these nowadays. We have a lot of new info, both from our experiences in the consulting space on account suspensions, reinstatement appeals, but also from some of our interactions with teams or specific Amazonians, which have been quite insightful, actually. And we're glad for that. We're trying to make use of it and help as many people as we possibly can, whether or not they hire us using our project rates to have us run their entire appeals strategy. Naturally, everyone's welcome to do that, and we'll do an upfront assessment. But if you're doing these yourself, and if you're suspended for code of conduct violations, policy violations, things that look like they might be malicious, they might look like deliberate attempts to either evade Amazon's tools or enforcement teams, or just to get a leg up on your competition, I have to be the first one through the door to tell you these evasive tactics and the attempts to kind of appeal a suspension for something code of conduct related, where you tell half of the story, but not all of the story. These approaches and those attempts at partial communication to get reinstated really do not work anymore. They're very transparent. What I'm hearing from Amazonians is they see right through it. They think maybe you're tipping your hand in a sense. You're acting like you're holding something back with how you couch terms and language that you use on the appeals. I think that's part of it, but it's not even that. It's they can see something and you think they can't see it. That's been the case in a lot of review manipulation suspensions where half of the story is told, not all of the story is told. I was told by Amazon people point blank, if they think that you're avoiding talking about something simply because it's ugly and it's nasty, or you've been caught doing it before, there's absolutely no point in sending in those types of appeals over and over. They promised me more or less they will continue to send back the generic boilerplate. You haven't sent us the right info message. You haven't sent us enough info. They're aware that those messages don't really specify what's missing or why they're denying you, but especially in cases where it's bad behavior, like code of conduct violations, or in cases of review manipulation, which could either be you padded your own reviews by encouraging buyers to leave you 5-star reviews, or encouraging anyone to leave you 5-star reviews, or leaving bad reviews for competitors. Things like that have been on the uptick, but they can see something. Maybe your competition reported you, which it's completely valid for your competition to report you for abuse if you're actually committing the abuse. The source of the allegation doesn't mean so much. I mean, Amazon should be verifying those claims. They should be making sure they're not being, deceived by your competition with fake allegations. But beyond that scrutiny, if it's accurate, if I can look at it and that looks like it is definitely an accurate abuse complaint, then you need to come forward with that information, whether it's a third-party service you use that you shouldn't have been using, or maybe you thought they were TOS compliant because they told you they abide by Amazon's terms of service. Naturally, in many cases, they don't. You have to fess up to that. And this is one of the occasions, I know I disagree with Amazon quite a bit, but I wholeheartedly agree with them on many of the points they raised to me recently in person, but even what I've seen in their execution of review manipulation suspensions. Many of those, most of them, are valid enforcements. Sellers were giving product away. They may have believed that giving product away and not asking for a review was compliant with Amazon's policy. I've said many, many, many times, and I will probably continue into 2026 telling people that isn't true. Don't give product away at all, ever. It doesn't matter what you ask for in the messaging. Can you ask for a review? Yes. Can you give product away? No. Major, major distinctions, and not much margin for error. So the idea that you see things that Amazon can't see only holds up if you are 100% sure, which pretty sure I don't know anyone who is. You're 100% sure your competitors never buy from you. There are no orders out there from anyone who could potentially screenshot something, whether it's your insert. Mostly we see people going through a QR code, scanning the entire funnel, taking screenshots of that and sending it to Amazon. Amazon teams that handle abuse prevention know what to do with this information much better than a couple of years ago. This is not 2023 anymore. This is now abuse prevention teams are stronger and more reliable And your competitors are much more sophisticated in terms of how to report abuse you might be doing and how to do it effectively so Amazon takes action. When it comes to review manipulation or anything behavioral, like soft fraud type behavior, bad behavior, where you're attacking another competitor of yours, anti-competitive behavior, or you're trying to manipulate any kind of, especially around product reviews, any kind of systems and tools Amazon has to keep the playing field level. Not only should you expect a full account suspension, you should expect competitors to be giving Amazon lots of ammunition to fire at you when you submit a weak appeal saying, nope, we didn't do any of these things. Of course, they give you the option to appeal it as an error. Maybe Amazon made a mistake. You want to dispute it. That's great. They'll always give you that option. Make sure you have smoking gun evidence of that, because it's going to fall flat otherwise. And we still see a lot of sellers trying to dispute it or halfway disputing it. Maybe that worked months ago or last year. It certainly worked better last year, just like blaming an employee or blaming a third-party service worked a lot better last year. And a lot of people got reinstated using those tricks, but that was 2024. And it's a long time ago now. Amazon has been very vocal and public, and they've said it to people like me privately, but they also say it at conferences and publicly about their zero tolerance policies. Well, what does zero tolerance mean? Zero tolerance means if you're caught more than one time doing these types of things, you shouldn't expect to be an 8-figure or 9-figure seller on Amazon anymore, just because you're a big seller and you think they want you around for your sales and your commissions. That's not what this is about. I've also been told if this is your first offense and you've been selling for a dozen years and you expect to get away with, one offense, that doesn't work as well as it did in the past either. If the severity of the offense is such that they believe you're a threat either to themselves at Amazon and their reputation, since they're responsible for managing the marketplace, or to buyers or to other sellers, they don't want you around. And writing an appeal saying, well, we hired a marketing firm, we hired a third-party service, we just believed that they knew what they were doing, we knew other people using them. Well, from Amazon's perspective, maybe that means other people using them, first of all, steered you wrong and shouldn't have recommended them. But secondly, maybe those people will be suspended in the near future too. I know some suspensions are inconsistent. Sometimes your friend is doing exactly what you're doing. You met at a conference, they said they had a great hack. They never got in trouble for it. Well, guess what? You might get in trouble and get suspended, and maybe they never will. From now till the end, they'll always be selling and they'll never be caught doing the same exact thing. No one can predict that. None of us can see the future. What we can see is lots and lots of heavy-handed enforcement for people that were breaking rules, who maybe thought they could get out of it by saying they didn't know what the rules were. Rarely works, right? They expect you to know policy pages and to monitor them and to follow them. But just beyond that, this concept I keep hearing, I think I heard it maybe at least a handful of times this month, and certainly back into the summer with review abuse suspensions. How could Amazon see this? No one can see this. This is all off-site, offline. Look, if anyone can see it, and unless you 100% know that no one who ever looked at your insert or ever went through your marketing funnel, you are 100% certain that none of those people could have reported you, which I can't imagine anyone saying. You have to assume that it leaked out, it's public, Amazon saw it, and you're going to have to cop to it on your appeal for reinstatement. I understand people who are reoffenders who get caught doing this stuff 2-3 times, don't want to confess to things. Amazon probably told them, if this is your second go round, your only path through it is a dispute. Yes and no. You still might have to throw yourself on the mercy of the court. If it's unequivocally clear that they caught you a second time, there isn't much value in disputing it. I understand you might be coached by account health to dispute it just because that's your only shot. And I suppose you might get randomly lucky 1 out of 100 times. I wouldn't hang my hat on that strategy. And also, you might want to ask yourself why you're reoffending in a time of zero tolerance and significant enforcement by Amazon teams. Beyond that, for everybody else, be upfront about this stuff. Have review IDs, have details. Appeals without specifics are go nowhere. I understand, again, in recent months, some people who did have some kind of, less specific appeals that maybe didn't have all the review links or review IDs because maybe you didn't even know how many reviews you got out of those particular tactics. Yeah, some of those people who had all the reviews deleted, who appealed with a strong appeal, got reinstated. Nowadays, what I'm hearing from Amazon itself, not just from my own experience, is have as many reviewed IDs, as many Google Sheets with links to reviews as possible, reverse engineer whatever the heck you were doing to present them with that info so that if they didn't delete those reviews previously, you're helping them delete it now. This will save or help save your account. So those reviews don't have any value to you anymore anyway. They have to go. Beyond that, your methodology, I would never tell people to make something up, like you never hired a third-party service, but you think it looks bad that your employees are doing all this stuff, or you had rogue VAs who were caught doing this stuff for you and for other people, some sales pitch they gave you that you fell for. Don't make up things. You have to be able to prove and document some of these methods and practical pieces. They want to be able to verify it with your documentation. So no, definitely don't make things up just because you think additional guilt will help you get reinstated. No, present that information on the methodology, be clear about how it worked, be clear about the reviews you got out of it. And I understand there's nuance to this and some complexity, questions on it, concerns or misunderstandings about anything I said on this video today. Certainly put it in the comments or reach out to us directly at e-commerce Chris. There's a lot at stake here. You don't want to wing it and make more mistakes and just dig yourself a deeper hole. Thanks for listening.